Hello, welcome everyone. In this video, we will look at the basic concepts of networking. This is a multi-part video series for networking concepts, and this is the first one. Let's first take a look at the objectives for the networking concepts. So we'll first, try to understand what networking is, and while discussing various concepts, we'll also try to understand the benefits of networking. We'll look at different types of networkings and also topologies and cables used, and we'll also discuss the devices. So those would be our objectives. So let's jump into the course. Okay, before we get into the actual concepts of networking, or basic concepts of networking, let's take a quick analogy. Thing is, networking is not new to human beings. As humans, we share things. Example, two friends might share a car or share a pen. Or family might share the same TV. So sharing is not new to the human beings. So that's the kind of stuff we share. Now, example, let's say Jack wants to go to ABC hotel and he has no clue where it is. He talks to his friend Mike. Mike has no idea, but Mike has a friend Steve. Appears like Steve has an idea where ABC hotel is, so Steve would pass the information to Mike, and Mike passes the same information to Jack, and then Jack probably get on his car and get to the hotel. So primarily what's really happening here is we are sharing the information. In this particular case, it's the address. So in real world, it could be sharing information. It could be sharing vehicle or sharing money, some sort of hardware. But when it comes to networking, it's primarily sharing resources. It could be data, it could be hardware as well, and we'll look into it. Next. Okay. First, let us take a look at a few terms that float around when it comes to networking, and let's try to understand them. And they are server, workstation, host, and client. And these are some of the terms. So now let's take let's try to understand these four using these little pictures here on the right hand side. So first thing is the server. Now, when you say a server is a device on the network that shares something to the people or to the devices on the network. Say, for example, now this is your laptop, and you're trying to, let's say trying to access a movie that's on this server. So that means the movie is actually here, but you're accessing it from your laptop. So that's the server. Movie is just an example as a file server. It could be a print server. There are different kinds of services. We'll look into that later. So primarily, this machine is accessing something from this machine. So this is the server. Now let's take, so if this is a server, then what is this? So this machine, now you can call it as a client. The client is accessing something from the server. So that takes care of these two terms. Now workstation is another name for a client. So just the same name. I mean to say they are synonyms. Now, then what are hosts? Host is anything on the network is a host. Anything. It could be a laptop, it could be, you can refer to the host, or server, you can refer to a host. Sometimes you can also refer a device like printer as host as well. A desktop, you can call it as a host. So you can, using the word host, you can refer to pretty much any device on the network. So it's context sensitive. So you have to be very careful about what you're referring to when you're actually talking about something and using the word host. Okay, that's good. So the basic terms: server, workstation, host, and client. Workstation and client are same, they're just synonyms. And client acts as something from a different server, and that server or that system is referred to as a server. Okay, so let's so we took care of these terms. Let's look at some more terms. Okay, we will look at another three terms that are very popular in networking: LAN, WAN, MAN. So LAN is a local area network. It says it's local. WAN is a wide area network. MAN is a metropolitan area network. Now, let's take this picture. Here, we have a firewall here. You have a router. You have a switch. We'll discuss what a switch is, what a router is, what a firewall is later. So primarily you have some devices, computers, desktops, servers connected to a central device called switch, connected to router. It's pretty much like a typical office network. So this is your office, and you're connected to a network. So this is a network that is within an office, is referred to as the LAN, local area network. That's your LAN. Then what is wide area network? Wide area network is spread across the country, or you could say, when you have two different locations geographically separated and they are connected, then you refer to that as WAN. So say, for example, in this case, the first location is Austin, Texas, another location is Milpitas, California, and if these are somehow connected, and we'll also talk about what internet is later, but let's say these are connected using internet or through the internet. So a system here, let's say A, now is able to talk to a system here that's B through this connection, and one office is in Austin, Texas, another in Milpitas, California. Now this network is referred to as WAN, wide area network. Now, metropolitan area network, which is MAN, is not, people are not using it nowadays, but what it really means is, say you have office 1 and you have second location, office 2, within the same city. And if this location is connected to this location, then you kind of call it MAN. That was by definition metropolitan area network, but that's not it is not commonly used nowadays. So you'll most likely hear LAN and WAN. So those are the three terms. Let's move on. Okay, so we will look at some more terms. We'll look at internet, intranet, and extranet, and that's what we will try to understand. They pretty much sound alike. As you can see, intranet, internet, and extranet. Now let's go back to the same office network example. You have multiple devices here in blue. You have a server here, a switch, a router, a firewall connected to internet. Typical office network. Now here, what you have here is internet. We'll talk here in a bit about what internet is. So your office location is referred to as intranet. Your own, it could be one office location, two office locations, three, maybe located in different countries, but they are intranet, local to your network. And internet is the world, and everything on the internet. We'll talk about what internet is actually again here in a minute. And then extranet is something, it's a kind of network or a portion of your intranet that can be accessed externally from the internet. That is referred to as extranet. So intranet is your local office network. Internet is everything else out in the world that's connected. Extranet is a subnet or subset of intranet that is allowed to be accessed externally from external network, from outside primarily. Now get to the term what internet is. No, internet was originally started by DARPA, a defense organization, United States. They had, few computers. In order, primarily it was an experimental project. They wanted to connect to share data. So they started off with few machines, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10, something like that. And then people started seeing benefits of sharing information and sharing data. So after the experimentation was done, and people were seeing clear benefits, other companies started using the same network, like IBM, Microsoft. They're all joining this network. So this network grew so big that it's now worldwide. It's all over the world. Everything, the systems, if you're connected in, say, in Africa to the internet, and that pretty much, let's say in US here, if you're connected here, these two machines can communicate. It's a common network. So it's the internet is nothing but network of networks. It's a huge network. So that's the reason, when you get connected to internet and you try to check your Hotmail, you get, it doesn't matter where you connect from, you will be able to get to Hotmail, because all these servers are connected to one network called internet. So internet, so that's what is internet, the whole world. Intranet is your office network, and extranet is your portion of your intranet that's allowed to be accessed from external world, which would be your internet. So I guess in this video we'll conclude with all these terms, and we'll look at the actual topology and type of networks in the next video. Thank you.